I discovered the secret to overcoming my fear of heights.
Let's talk about that.
Good mythical morning.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making this a part of your daily routine. We know it when you do it, and
because we're tracking you.
It feels good to us to know that these efforts are not for nothing. It's for you.
We know where you live.
And we're bringing this to you.
Based on some software that we have invested in and are implementing right now, we know exactly which computer you're using in your house.
No, we don't. So you conquered fears of some sort.
Did I scare you there for a second? We don't know how to track you. We don't really. Yeah, I have overcome my fear of heights.
Excuse me.
It's over. I realized I was 6'7", and there's no reason that I should be scared of heights.
You're walking around in height.
Yeah, no. Okay, I've discovered a way for me to deal with my fear of heights. As you know, I have children. And as you know, because you also have children, you want to be the good dad and you want to come up with cool things to do. And then, of course, I didn't come up with this, my wife did. I just went along with it. Jesse was like,
because she's in charge.
We should go rock climbing, indoor rock climbing as a family. And I'm like, there are places that you can do this, huh? Okay. And she's like, yeah, there's this place. We got this special deal.
Well, I think I went in an REI once that had a rock climbing wall on like half of it, but it like wasn't that big of a deal. I assume this is more like a warehouse type of thing?
Yeah, this is like a warehouse where they have put up the rock climbing wall on...
Not like a party rental, like a bounce house and like a climbing wall.
This is like a serious deal. Like you have to sign a waiver. When you gotta sign a waiver that says the word death in it like 50 times,
really?
And you will be responsible for your own death and dismemberment. I don't know how you get dismembered rock climbing, but I guess if you fell hard enough, a limb could pop off.
Well, those things that come off of the wall, just imagine hitting every one of those on the way down. It's like Plinko.
Lose a head, lose an arm.
Yeah, human Plinko.
Anyway, that didn't happen.
That's what they should call it.
And but I would have been responsible for my own dismemberment if it had happened, or the dismemberment of any of my family.
Spoiler alert.
But we're all in one piece.
Spoiler alert.
4 individual pieces. So anyway, I get in there and the guy's like doing this orientation. Well, first of all, I meet some mythical beasts as I'm getting ready to go through the orientation. So hello to those of you who I met at the rock climbing place. I've got to admit, I was a little self-conscious, a little embarrassed because I don't like to be recognized in the midst of looking scared and not cool. And I was definitely both of those things at the same time because I had on this, I had tucked my shirt in order to wear the harness thing. It was up a little high. And then I looked like I was about to pee myself because I was really nervous. I don't like heights at all.
The harness is kind of in a tighty-whitey configuration.
Yeah, I put the harness on and I was like kind of making a face, and then the guy doing the orientation was like, yeah, the harness isn't very male friendly. I was like, well, you think they would have figured that out by now? There's lots of males here, you know? So anyway.
And so people are like, hey, can I get my picture taken with you?
Yeah. So anyway,
you're like, make sure you get the harness in the picture.
Yeah, there's a picture out there of me somewhere with a harness on the. So anyway, so then the orientation starts, and he's like, okay, over here we have the rock climbing wall, and this is where you hook into the automatic belaying system. You know, typically if you go rock climbing, there's like a dude who's he's belaying you, so there's the rope going up,
standing on the ground and holding the rope.
Yeah, right. But this was just this like looks like a huge reel from a big rod and reel, like a giant sea fishing rod or something like that.
Deep sea.
And it's up there at the top. And he's like, now you just climb up this thing. It's like 35, 40 feet or something. You climb up this thing. And then he says, when you get to the top, you just have to throw yourself off and trust the auto belay system.
Now 40 feet looks pretty tall from the ground, but I assume if you were to get up there, which I don't even know if you made it up there.
Oh, I did.
You did?
Yeah.
Did it seem really tall when you were up there?
Yeah, well, tall is probably, high is the word that I used. This seems really tall up here. That's not how I describe heights usually, unless I'm referring to people. But anyway, so I'm climbing up the wall.
That's your choice.
I'm climbing up the wall. Now, first of all, my kids went first, and Lot goes right up to the top. You know, fearless. He's fearless. He goes all the way to the top. And then it took him a little bit to kind of jump off and get the thing, and then he comes down. And then Shepherd goes up. he's 5, so he goes up like halfway and then he's scared and then but he did push himself off. So then they're like, all right, Daddy's turn. Daddy goes up there. I get to the top.
You were like, Daddy's turn!
And first of all, I bypass a lot of the holds because, I mean, I'm like halfway up the wall starting. You know what I mean? So it's like my arms are so long I can reach up and I pull myself up and I was like, and they sent me up the easiest route. So I was at the top before I knew it. They were looking at this big reel from the rod and reel. And then I'm like, man, I don't know. What if this thing malfunctions? He's like, just push off. No, just push off. Just throw yourself back. Just trust the thing. He didn't call it a thing. And
Did he call you Daddy?
No.
Push off, Daddy!
And I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I just, without a lot of hesitation, I didn't get up there and just like freeze. I push off. Your heart really just like goes to your stomach goes to your heart, whatever one of those things that happens.
Both.
And then it caught me and I came down and I was like, oh, that was great. There was a little adrenaline rush and I immediately went up and did it again.
And your face is like against the holds?
No, I stayed away from the plinko board.
Okay.
But then he says, now this is the rock climbing wall, but over here around the whole rest of the facility is our bouldering section. He said, this is when you climb up the wall and top out. Basically, you climb over these boulders and then you can top out and get to this little thing and then come back down on the stairs and you're not strapped in. I mean, you're like 20, 30 feet in the air and you're not strapped in and there's this mattress or, pad or whatever that kind of goes all around the bottom so if you fall, you won't die. You just like break an arm or something. And so I'm like, I'm doing this. And so I kind of momentarily forgot about my children. And I just ran over there and I start going up this boulder and I go up the boulder, go over the top and then top out, go down and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I can't believe I did this. Like, how many people who are here for the first time just go up to this boulder and just go right over the thing and then come back down? I get to the bottom and there is a little girl's birthday party of like 8-year-old girls and they're all doing the same exact thing that I just did. Every single one of them is in a line just going.
So that's the answer to your question.
Yeah, in other words, 8-year-old girls do it. And so I was like,
you
okay.
finally felt like an 8-year-old girl.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I see where I'm at here. And
You've arrived.
And then I thought to myself, you know what? I think I have a 5-year-old child. And he's here, and I'm supposed to be watching him. And I look, and my wife is at the top of the thing up there. Locke is on another thing. I'm like, where's the 5-year-old child that I'm responsible for? I run around and I come up and I see that he's on this boulder in the middle and he's at the top of the boulder and there's like this like teenage dude who's like standing underneath him like spotting him because it's like you're not supposed to let the children on this thing. And so now a teen has just come and is babysitting my child to keep him from certain dismemberment.
So you became an 8-year-old girl and then...
I should have been kicked out of the place, but I wasn't.
So what happened with Shepard? What did he break?
He came back down.
He backtracked?
He backtracked on his own. He was totally fine. He loved it. You know what? It was a great family trip. I highly recommend it. If you like to risk life and limb with your family, this is a good thing to do. And I think that we should do an office outing. All of us should go.
And have an 8-year-old girl birthday party. Like it can be princess themed.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, we can dress up in dresses, frilly dresses. It'll be a lot of fun, right? You know what time it is.
Hi, this is Rob Hansen with KTUX 1340 AM in Needles, California, and it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Speaking of 8-year-old girls, we've got the pink mythical shoes. Or you don't have to be a girl. Guys like pink.
Or you can get the Mythical 2.0 in leather. There's also black and blue. RhettandLink.com/store.
And we got some Black Friday deals that are coming out for the Mythical shoe. More info on that in
on
the
our
description.
Twitter.
Oh, in the Twitter. In the Twitter. That's where that's gonna happen.
Link is a fancy chef. Well, today we are going to teach you how to be a fancy chef like me. We're going to cook on the plate here, and you see the plate?
Yes.
And then you get out your plate, and then get out your plate.
Is it imaginary?
It is, yes. And then you you add some water to the plate. This is real water here. Add it to the plate, and then poof! It makes a waffle that you cannot see, and then you eat the waffle. It's very fancy.
How do I eat it?
You lap it up like a dog. And then I'll make mine over here, yes. I'm gonna lap up the water waffle. Very fancy. Not in the nose, just in the mouth.
Got some in my nose. Oh, this is good. How much am I paying for this lesson?
Very fancy, very fancy. $80.
And it's all based on different difficulties. So, like, yeah, it is all based on physics, but